Imagine the moment you stand before them. Clients, investors, politicians, and presidents of powerful companies from across the globe, ready to unveil your project for the first time. The screen glows with your project's logo, a symbol that holds the core of your idea. You catch their eyes shifting, their expressions alive with curiosity, the silence between you building a quiet tension, drawing them in. You begin to speak, guiding them step by step through the layers of your concept. Slowly it unfolds like a story, each piece finding its place. They see not only the design, but the vision behind it, the promise, the potential. You sense their understanding that it isn't just an architecture plan, it's a game changer, a creation they can envision, something extraordinary they can be part of. Each slide sharpens their picture, a puzzle taking shape into their minds. The energy in the room changes, they lean in, not just to listen, but to feel the weight of the idea you're offering. You see their nods, subtle, deliberate. It's not just agreement, it's connection. You've shown them something they hadn't fully articulated themselves, but now recognize as their own. Words become unnecessary. The project has already spoken. They're inspired, they're convinced, and in that moment, they are ready to make it a reality. We'll start by learning how to organize your materials in a way that's clear and engaging. I'll walk you through simple, effective techniques to create amazing designs quickly. Together, we'll look at examples of good and bad designs so you'll see what works, what doesn't, and how to avoid common mistakes. We'll also explore how to pick the right fonts, colors, and layouts to create personal style that makes your work stand out. By the end of this course, you'll have everything you need to present your projects with great confidence. So, if you're ready to take your presentations to the next level, let's get started. Hi everyone, and welcome to this new course, Project Presentations for Clients and Investors. This is lesson number 1, Introduction. In this lesson, we are going to go through the special parameters and characters of the client's presentations. So what does it have to show in the presentation? When we're working on a client's brochure or a client's presentation, we need to show how we answer their needs and interests. We need to show different design and planning variations for them to choose and open up for discussions to take very important considerations and decisions. The presentation needs to sell the idea and convince our clients or other members that this dream, this vision for the project is the best one. So for each client, there is a different interest, and we have to consider as the project's goals or assets. So we have the private client. For them, the project is a home or an investment, usually in small scale. Usually the projects are either apartments, villas, or homes. Sometimes they are buying part of a building as an investment. The real estate companies, they usually use the maximal usage of the building rights and areas, and they want to reach the maximal profit, but only with a standard or minimal design. On the other hand, they want also an impressive project that will be easy to sell, almost as a product. Then there are the investors. For them, the project is capital and to showcase their portfolio. Then there are the authorities and organizations, usually municipalities, where you show your project to. For them, the project is either a reputation, the prestige of the place, but also represents the public interest. So what is our role as architects in this complex field of interests? This is where we are working as mediator, as bridges between all the interests involved, between all the people and all the authorities involved, and all the expectations that they have and the needs that they need to show to their people and their decision makers. Hi everyone, this is lesson number 3, principles and emphasis to pay attention to when we create clients' presentations. So the main principles of a client presentation is that it has to be visually impressive, with a very strong character and with inspiring content, because this is what actually sells the project and shows the whole world, everyone who watches the project sees something that they want to be part of. They identify with it and they say, now here is something that we want to create in the world. The client's presentation also shows different alternatives for the design. It is very important to show at least 3 alternatives to open up discussions and make different decisions that could take to different directions. So if we want to tell the story of a project for clients, where do we find inspiration for the plot of the story? So what I usually do, I connect my project and the planning to local nature. I always examine and research what is the special elements in the nature around me. Or I connect it to its surrounding and its environment. So if I'm in an urban environment or if I'm in a natural environment, it's very important. And how does my project connect with it? I also like to connect to local culture, and I use a lot of the local materials and textures and colors that I find in the place around me. So I research what is happening actually in the building next to me and what is the special language that the environment speaks, with materials, with textures, with colors, with shapes and forms. And I take that as my beginning stage of my design and connect it to its environment as if it existed there maybe before the old and ancient buildings in the place. So what are the main components of a slide layout in a client's presentation? So first we are choosing the orientation of the slide. It can be horizontal, it can be vertical, but it can also be a square-sized layout. So it is very important to choose that. We also use them based on the print of the presentation. So if the client likes the horizontal shaped as a brochure or as a book, then this is what we can offer. The square gives a sense of a coffee table book.